Oh yeah, we are. You are live.
We're live.
Okay, welcome to episode 60 of First Frames First. My name is Adrain Konstantin.
I'm Jason. Today, I swear to God, one of these days we're gonna find out why he's named a drain. But today we have a really special guest, and actually, really, we roll in a lot of the same circles. We're film people out of Kitchener Waterloo.
Yep.
And we're gonna get to hear all about his story. But we know a lot of the same people, but we never had a chance to hang out.
We've never met. I've never
No,
met.
yeah, this is the first.
This is Dan McLeod. Do you go by Dan?
Yep.
Dan McLeod, founder of this year's first annual Kitchener Waterloo Film Festival.
Yes.
Which I had the privilege of watching the short film night of it. So we'll get into that. But welcome, Dan.
Well, thanks for having me, and you gave me beer, so we're best friends now.
Yeah,
Excellent.
That's the way we roll.
Who are we?
Nobody's.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. We're Canadian filmmakers with the dream of surviving financially on the backs of our films.
Welcome to our show where we bring people along on our film journey.
Maybe we can learn a thing or two.
Maybe we can teach people a thing or two while drinking beers.
I mean, if you can't drink beers while filmmaking, what's the point?
We are Fable Forest Films, failing our way to success.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. I mean, our show. First Frames First.
So, I'd just like to congratulate you on starting a film festival in Kitchener Waterloo.
Thank you very much.
It's amazing. And I don't know, this is not coming from any place of experience or anything like that, but I feel like it was something that was really needed in Kitchener Waterloo. Now, I say that, and we have a film festival called the Grand River Film Festival, but it always felt so disconnected from any of the local filmmakers.
Yes.
And what you're doing with all it, when I saw, because I was looking after my kids that night, so I apologize for not making it out to the short film night. But when you have a room full of local filmmakers, I don't know, I feel like you're doing the right thing.
That was definitely the goal for it. Like, you can go to Griff or any other film festival and still watch a lot of great films and see other, connect with other film lovers. But if you want to, I'm a filmmaker myself, and I like to watch films and talk about films with other filmmakers and to showcase each other's work. It just seemed like the next logical step. We've done smaller ones of these before, just with the local filmmakers, but I think it's important to show the community, like, hey, we exist, we can, and we make a lot of great stuff. So check it out.
Amazing.
So I guess let's really dive. I'm really interested to dive into this, and then let's jump back and hear about you, because I mean that's less exciting. But
Jerk. Hey,
Totally,
thanks
100%.
for inviting me around. You're gonna
but
poke me with a stick.
But when did you start thinking about doing the Kitchener Waterloo Film Festival? Like, how long from I think I would like to do this thing?
I think it was almost exactly a year. Like most of my projects, I started it probably around 3 a.m. alone in my office, drunk. And but whenever the ideas comes to me, then I tell other people about it, and then like, oh shit, I've now committed myself to something when I sober up, and I guess I'm going for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so, how did you approach the cinemas when you were first going to do this? What was the first step?
First step was contacting John Tutt of the Princess Cinema. I knew that's where I wanted to go, and because I had never done anything quite this big before, I knew that he was the man to talk to. So he met with me almost right away, and he kind of guided me through the you need, make sure you have this, this, and this. Like, here's your checklist. Come back in 6 months when you have those things.
Right.
Oh wow.
And I did. So
Did you have any? What were some of the ideas right from the beginning? Was it just like, I want to showcase local people's work, I want to compete with Grand River? There's another film festival in town.
Deep Cut. Yep.
Deep Cut Film Festival.
They're July, I want to say 13th. I got to double check. I hope people go out. They're doing their third year.
But they're more experimental, horror-y type stuff.
They run out of the registry in Kitchener. And it's cool indie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From the branding, right from the beginning, I knew I had to make everything look accessible. And I didn't want to compete with Griff because at the time I thought Griff was dead. They had taken a year off and I hadn't heard anything, so I had assumed.
Yeah, it was done.
Yeah, like, okay, well, so as far as I was concerned, there was no other film festival around except for Deep Cut, which was doing its own thing.
Right.
So once I started getting going, and then I found out Griff was back, I was like, well, I'm already in, right? And but we were different enough anyway with the hard local aim that I didn't think it really made a difference. There wasn't really a lot of overlap. There was maybe some. I know there was some chatter on the internet about people seeing it as competition, and that's never what I wanted to do. I mean, we're a big enough city. We can have multiple film festivals without stepping on each other's toes.
The Tri-Cities has enough people you can...
Totally.
Oh, definitely.
No, this is amazing. And so, what was the next step? What was one of the toughest things that John gave you to do in starting a film festival? Like, we have no idea. What are some of the hoops you got to jump through?
Hoops. Well, a lot of the hoops I just cut out because I decided I wasn't going to bother with it for my first year. One of them was grants and funding and all that. I decided everything's out of my own pocket.
That's a mountain.
Yeah. So I first was budgeting. Basically, how much am I prepared to lose? And start with there.
And that is everything, in theory, right?
Pretty much. I put... How much did I put into this? I think I lost total about $1,000, which is not bad.
That's not terrible.
With because you collect fees with like film submissions and ticketing and all that, but your money goes away quick when you're doing advertisements and rentals and blah 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 and a million other things. And we had so many submissions, I actually had to pay other people to go through all the films and help me with ranking. I didn't watch them all; it was impossible. So I know there are people messaging me like, "Hey, so why wasn't my film selected?" I'm sorry, man, I never saw it.
And in fact, what you're talking about is something that we hear echoed with the bigger film festivals. Like, people often will talk about how there's so many submissions to film festivals that the festivals can't. They don't have enough people or hours in the day to watch all the submissions.
I was quite amazed with that.
Wow.
Yeah. Just the volume and the diversity and the kind of stuff people get. But I think the biggest takeaway is KW has a very distinct style within its filmmakers.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if it's intentional, but it's always... The films are always a little weirder than others. Weirder in a different way. They're sort of like a joyful darkness to them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that there's a distinct sort of pattern or like an identity that comes out of Kitchener Waterloo. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. A joyful dark.
I think that's the best way I can put it.
A joyful darkness.
That's amazing.
Cool. Did you start early on saying, because I think I remember reading that you were like 30% or something, like a one-third. Did you have that idea at the beginning, or was it more like you were like, well, let's just see what happens?
Oh, it was from the beginning. That was my intention. I think we got pretty close to it, at least in terms of time. Our international submissions that we showed were longer in general than the local stuff. So I think we had more local filmmakers.
So it was a third of the time was local filmmakers from KW region. A third of it was national?
National, yeah.
National
and
Canadian filmmakers.
A third was international filmmakers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Originally, I was hoping to do just a number of submitters would be even, but I kind of bent my own rules on that, where like I really wanted to show a couple of those international films, so that kind of meant rejigging my own rules. But I'm glad I did it. People really liked it.
Yeah.
So.
And you made the rules.
That's true.
So you can totally rejig them whenever you want.
Absolutely.
I'm the boss.
And you did. So just run us through what was first night was it just the first night was shorts?
Yeah, the first night was shorts. The second night we had our 3 feature films. So we had our international film Photograph. We tried to do a live Q&A with the director beforehand. So I'm sitting at the front of the cinema, with my laptop connected to the projector, and I'm turning on the Skype call and I'm getting nothing, and the audience is just staring at me, wondering what's going on. And he never picked up. So like, okay, here's the movie now. And he missed it. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to take that call, but he apologized. Then for our national feature, we had Giant Little Ones, and the director or the producer of that gave us a pre-recorded message to play in for the audience for the festival. She went to school here. She spent a lot of time in KW. She wanted to make it, but she's a full-time filmmaker, so she's like always on the go. And then we had Finding John Linkwood for our national feature, and I went with that one because it was the most Kitchener thing like I could have gone with. It's like, this is like a KW architect. Here's a bunch of KW people and KW history, and I was like, for a Kitchener Waterloo Film Festival first go, I think this is the way to go. And Dwight did show up for a Q&A, and that was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the Sunday was the live band soundtrack to Planet of the Vampires. So we had the VOC silent film harmonic out, and they did a live score to that. So we had the subtitles on. It was wicked.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And now, are these all 3 of these films? People can go and watch them now. Are they out on VOD? Do you know, or?
Photograph, I think, is getting a bigger release. I know The Princess is going to have it, might already have it now, or is going to have it in about a week.
Oh.
Giant Little Ones, I don't know. I was surprised I got it. They're, like, I don't know where it's playing. And hopefully somewhere soon, because it was one of the favorite things I've seen in quite a while. And Finding John Linkwood, I guess you'd have to talk to Dwight on that, on the distribution. Yeah, I'm not sure. In the short films, it's up to each director. You know, everyone, like, some are behind like firewalls and paywalls, but I don't know. Maybe I can show you later in secret and try not to get sued. We'll see.
I think my the one that really surprised me, I think, was the one that won your best short. I think it was Suitcase.
Oh, Suitcase, yeah, that was fantastic.
Were those guys out of Toronto?
They are, yeah. They both came down for the screening, which was great. And they won the Mazurkevich Award. For the audience,
So
explain the Mazurkevich Award. Now, we have had Michael Mazurkevich on our show.
That's right, Sex Panther.
The Sex Panther episode. I can't remember which episode that was.
That sounds like a good episode.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah, we know Mike pretty well, and he actually came out to play a monster in Shifted.
Nice.
But yeah, explain the Mazurkevich Award.
So the Mazurkevich Award is named after Michael Mazurkevich because he's been involved in every filmmaker around the region in some capacity. He'll volunteer his time and effort to act in anything he can. He just loves it. So just for that, we made an award after him. And the first award version of that award was just a framed picture of him. Of him smiling, and we just gave that out.
That's amazing.
And so now Mazurkevich makes the award himself. It's he spray paints like a dollar store figurine gold and does some like sunglasses on it. Glues it to a hockey puck and then makes little bathrobes to wrap around because he always wears a bathrobe.
That's right. He does wear robes.
So
He really does.
he does. It's like, if someone saw it out of context, you'd be like, "That's the crappiest looking thing." But it's made with love and appreciation, so people seem to like him.
That's
I like. Who did you gave out 3?
Yes.
So one was for the best picture, and this short film, I don't know if people can see it, but it's called Suitcase, and it's about a mother who's sending her daughter from China, maybe, to Toronto in a suitcase in an airplane. And I don't know what just happened there.
Did we just lose our feed?
Maybe we did. Oh, it looks like it's still going.
Still going? Cool.
And so the little girl calls her mom on the cell phone as she's being like bumped around in the airport or whatever, and her mom's telling her like basically to imagine what's going on outside. There's pigs, there's puppies, everything's wonderful. You're being taken through the clouds on a dragon or something, and it's a mixture of live action and animation, and it was excellent.
Sounds incredible.
It was
really is.
really really good.
Holy smoke.
And then the little girl's imagination runs wild, and the great thing was it was like just a little girl hugging like a little blue light in just all blackness, like she's in this suitcase basically. And really really well done. It was very emotional and just very cute.
Yes, I was really impressed with that one. And you see something that great, and you're just like, I wonder what kind of people made this. And you meet them like, oh, they're the most down to earth people on the planet. It was great. That's nice and humbling.
It was nice to see. I see Danny's watching the show, so hey Danny.
Hey.
We got to see Plop Fiction again.
Yeah.
So that was I'll never forget watching that for the first time. Hey Danny, I still have look, I still have your SD card. So we've had it for like a year. I don't know. One of these days we're gonna have Danny Bailey on the show. It's gonna be amazing.
We'll give you back your SD card.
SD card. Then we're gonna borrow it again, probably.
The next day.
The next time we do Art of Eight Limbs, and then
It'll be that.
then we'll have it another year. We'll talk to him again. I don't know. Yeah, it's really cool. What was some of your what would you say was your biggest crowd?
That was definitely the first night, with the runner-up being the VOC night. It was so-so for the Saturday, because you're showing with that one, when you're showing at least like main feature films, general audiences just don't know the difference, like, oh, it's a film festival or not, the way that often they're listed. So you're competing, and this is where we are competing with other stuff the Princess is showing, or other cinemas playing modern stuff. So that's a harder sell, and that's where the loss came from. I think most of it is from that. So we're probably not going to do quite that style again. I've already rejigged it. We're going to do something unique. I can't tell you about it yet. We're going to always keep the short film aspect and something special, basically something that's a bit of a gimmick or a complete gimmick, but is still fun. General audiences will like it and will be engaging to the local filmmakers.
You had I didn't stay, but I did pop in. But just off to the side, you had Torrin Langdon's.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Super creepy exhibit. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So Torrin Langdon.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went to what did we go see where Torrin was there at the Apollo?
Yeah.
That wasn't our thing, was it?
No. It was.
Anyways, that doesn't matter, I suppose. But we were at the Apollo to see someone else's film, and Torrin was there. We got just chit-chatting. And he was like, yeah, we're like, so what are you up to these days? And he's like, I don't know. I'm making these giant weird puppets and masks and things, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm doing a lot of sewing and working with buttons and just, being creative. We're like, okay, listen, you have a great time. He's like, I'm going to. It's going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be great. I'm making these creatures. And then, something was happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man, yes.
Jump in.
So Torrin Langdon made, I guess you call it a short horror. I don't know if it's experimental film called Offerings. It's about 20-ish minutes long. Silent film, and all in black and white. Very wide aspect ratio. Often treating it as if 3 different screens are going on, and sometimes merged together. Very unique, very cool, very textured looking, and it's like watching a nightmare. It's great, and himself and other bandmates, their band is called Pyre, did a score to it, and they just let the movie play again and again, and they just kept doing the score like an improvised horror score. It was cool,
And they had all kinds of weird shit all over the place, and weird candles and stuff. Like, you're watching this film Was it on a backdrop or was it on the wall?
On the wall.
Yeah, it was on the wall, and there was a whole bunch of weird crap that you didn't want to get too close to because it looked. He's let me tell you something.
Extreme.
He's
talent.
what nightmares are made of.
Yes. And he's doing a film society type festival thing. I guess I'm not sure if it's a festival. It's a reoccurring like every month or two. It's called the Scapegoat Film Society. You should check them out on Facebook. I went to their first one. Fortunately, I'm out of the province for the next one.
Fortunately, you're like I don't.
Oh no, unfortunately,
I don't have anything to do with that. So fortunately,
no. No. I want to see the next one. He's showing at Alice, and I saw that like a preview he made for it.
Is that his?
That's not his, but his like the Scapegoat Film Society is showcasing kind of odd stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where the last one I was there, I can't remember the name of the film. It wasn't in English, and I guess I only read it once. But yeah, I think I wanted to throw up by the end of it. So
Yeah.
it's a very effective film that he showed.
Yeah,
So
this Alice one, I saw a little bit of a preview. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that one I think I will throw up on. So I actually highly recommend it. It looks like
I mean, if you're gonna throw up,
yeah.
I mean, we got to get Torrin on the show and talk to him a little bit about.
But yeah, I'd like to see his creative process and what it's like. It's very cool stuff that he makes.
For sure, and like it or not, like really, really well done. Like very creepy. So yeah.
Freakishly talented. I remember like, years ago, I went back to my old high school at KCI, and I went to the film professor, the screen ed guy. And I was talking like, oh, so is there any good talent like in school right now? Any good stuff? And he said Torn Langan. So this is when Torn was still in school. So I'm not sure how long ago this was.
Yeah.
I think I was just running my own business at that point. And so he's been a bit of a prodigy since forever, I guess, since he picked up a camera.
I was pretty excited to see too. I was watching one of the short films, and I don't know what it's called, Malco, but
Oh yeah.
but all of a sudden I'm watching it, and there's Jenna Gagliardi on screen running around the forest, fighting bananas. So it was pretty excellent, and that was Malco's foray into amazing Russian horror. It was pretty good, actually.
He was the last person to get me his final version of the film. I wanted to push him out of a window near the end of it. Just waiting for it. Because I saw his initial draft. And I was like, yeah, it's accepted on this merit. But you need to get me the final one. And just waiting for it, like trying to pull my hair out. We got it like the last possible second. But turned out I'm glad we got it in there. Thank you, Malco. It's I'm in it for I think about half a second.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
were you one of the bananas?
I was for this long. So,
And were you dressed as a banana for a whole day?
only got a couple hours, I think.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
not bad. That's not a bad ratio.
No, I'm okay with it. Mouth full of it's like chocolate syrup.
Chocolate blood?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
That stuff is delicious.
Try not to. I mean, you put a lot in my mouth. The name of the game was Don't Gag. But you know how often you get to wear a blood-covered banana suit, right? For the name of art.
Never.
Not often, yeah.
Never.
Why did you put
I
art
have
in
never-
inverted commas, eh?
Yeah.
Art.
Well, okay, let me explain myself. I make
No need.
I make
Moving on.
films. I am not an artist. I make crap.
Yeah.
But I know some people who also make crap want to be called artists, but that's more of my subjective opinion.
So how long have you been working in film? Like, tell us a little, just a...
I don't know. 7 years. That sounds right. I think my LinkedIn profile knows better than I do.
Oh, LinkedIn profile. Amazing. Do you have a LinkedIn
You're
profile?
serious? Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it all like Fable Forest Films?
No.
Oh. Yeah, mine either.
It's been I've loved it since I was a kid. I remember in grade 8 taking a tour through high school. Like, this is where you're going to go next year. And you walk past the screen ed room and like, oh, you can take this as of I think grade 10. And I was so excited. So I've always had an extreme interest, and I've been a film buff for most of my life. A lot of, I I have sometimes extreme bouts of anxiety, or I don't really want to leave the house for long periods of time, so I'll just watch movies. And I've been doing that as like a coping mechanism for ever.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to be involved in
Wow.
movie making in some way or another.
So you find like some kind of comfort. Films give you a bit of comfort.
Very much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter how good they are. I still enjoy them. I can always find something to like for the most part.
You are like Jason. Jason is the same way. He generally finds something to like about everything. Malco.
Except for Godzilla.
Malco.
I heard, yeah.
I didn't like it.
I don't know if Malco will ever find something that he likes.
What do you think, Malcolm? If you're watching, you can feel free to jump in at any time.
He's not watching. Yeah, that's amazing. And give us like a little bit of a rundown of your filmography.
What you do?
What do you
Yeah,
do?
what do you
Tell us
do?
a little bit about what you're working on.
Well, there's stuff I do for money, and there's stuff I do for fun. So
Amazing.
For money, right now, I've been a couple of years at Desire to Learn, D2L.
Cool.
And so I do, basically, if the word video is involved, I'm in charge of it, myself and a coworker. And so next week I'm going to British Columbia, and we're filming a couple clients there and making they call it client success stories. So it's
Cool.
basically talking heads with a lot of pretty B-roll. You fly the drone around, sort of stuff, and make those kind of videos. Or fun stuff, like sometimes we get, they kind of let me do whatever for the Halloween and holiday videos, or a lot of
Right.
internal and product marketing and stuff like that. So that's my bread and butter, and I enjoy it very much because it is, not having a large video team, you kind of do a bit of everything.
Right.
So I'm happy to be working there. The stuff I really like making, of course, nobody would pay me for. So, and those are,
What are those?
I've been described to me as bit perverted with unintentional homosexual undertones. I don't know why they turn on. They don't. I don't intend them to turn out that way. They just seem to. Well, maybe actually my feature film is maybe a little more intended. But it's kind of embraced it a little bit.
What is your feature film that you're working on right now?
The feature film is called Force Fury.
That's right. I saw your trailer just recently.
Oh,
It looks awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, that comes out in September if I get my act together and finish the editing. I got a couple more scenes I want to shoot to put in there.
Yeah.
And
So can I just ask you about
Force Fury has a few people that we know in it, if I recall
it
correctly.
does.
I did not recognize your lead actor. I don't think is he a local man.
Matthew Masseau. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is. I basically picked. He's a great actor, but I wanted someone who, in person, is the complete opposite of the lead character, because Brick Force Fury is a bigoted asshole in the film, and Matthew is one of the sweetest men I know.
Hey Brian.
So it's a great.
As much contrast as possible.
Exactly.
Now, can I just ask you, because you work in video,
Yeah.
and so all day you're working in video, then your hobby also is kind of... So when you get home at night and you're like, oh, I'm going to put a couple hours into Force Fury, after doing editing and shooting at your day job,
Yeah.
do you think it slows you down?
100% yes.
Because you're like saturated with video. You're like, oh, I don't feel like editing right now.
I'd say most days I come home, the last thing I want to do is open Premiere and start editing anything. It's got to be when I'm in the right headspace for it. So if I didn't have to do, if it was like mostly meetings or something where I didn't get to do a lot of editing, sure, on weekends, the day off here and there, I got to fit it in. Because if I'm not in the mood to do it, I'm not going to do it, because it's not going to turn out well, because I'm not primed for it.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. And hell, it's my movie. If I had delayed another 6 months for release, well, then that's what happens.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get it.
Jason, if Jason was your producer, he'd
You just freak out.
just give you a backhand
Hurry
right now.
up.
Right now. Strike you in the face.
I don't backhand anyone on the first time we do a podcast with them.
But yeah, I want to get it out though, so I can move on to other things. I have
Yeah.
other ideas and other stuff I want to do.
This is primarily our issue. Also, is that an idea takes such a long time to get to completion,
Yeah.
and you do have other ideas. In the space of time that you're executing Force Fury, another three great ideas pop in,
Yep.
and you flesh them out a little bit, and you're like, well, I suppose I'll do this when I have some time. So like, how long has the process been since the beginning? How long have you been making Force Fury?
I started shooting Force Fury in October last year.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, so it'll be like just under a year, I think, in production, with very large gaps in between of me not touching it.
Yeah.
So it would have been done by now if I had stuck with it. But when stuff like the film festival comes up, or traveling around for work, and you get home exhausted, because like I travel a lot more for work now than I used to. I should probably talk about that in my contract. But it takes a lot out of you, and I'm just tired. And when I get home, I don't want to do anything, especially related to that.
I totally get that. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna sit
Yes,
and do nothing for a bit.
exactly. Just,
Feels good, man.
Well, it does. It totally does.
Yeah.
You need it.
yeah.
And what are some of the? Is there anything that people can jump out and take a peek at that you have out in the world already
Yeah, I've got
that you're proud of? That
proud.
you're like, because sometimes
honestly, I love showing people the stupid shit
Do
that
you?
I've made.
So we have some friends that are like, I never want to show people this thing.
Yeah.
My approach is always like, who gives a shit? Like, throw out the stuff that you did before because it's where you were at that time.
Yeah.
That's you went from here to here to here,
Yeah.
and like. We do this show. This is our 60th episode. We do it every 2 weeks, so we've been doing it 120 weeks.
Damn.
And we're not good at this,
We still suck the same.
right?
We have not improved where we thought we would be.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. We just chat with either ourselves or with guests, and we have a good time.
Sure,
We
yeah.
drink a beer, and we talk about movies and what we're up to and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but yeah,
Yeah.
hit us with some stuff. Hit us
okay.
with the garbage.
Garbage. My most recent pile of crap was, well, I mean, I think they're pretty well made for what they are. I think the most recent one is called Edition, like ODD Edition, and it stars Mazurkovich, of course.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just kidding.
It's someone auditioning to join a biker gang through pantomime, who has mixed results, and to win them over has to do something drastic. It's in a non-language, so anyone can watch it.
It keeps getting more and more wild.
Yeah.
Like when you told me, I was like, cool, pantomime, it's in a non-language. It keeps going.
And there is an excessive amount of pubic hair.
Okay.
Copy that.
Okay, so that's
Copy that.
that's
I mean, the thing is, Mazurkovich,
yes.
he's a hairy beast.
we needed more, so we brought in extra hair.
I'm working.
Where did you bring the extra hair from?
Uh,
Where did you wrangle extra pubic hair from?
I'm not going to tell you.
This is what happened. We had been planning this with Mazurkovich for a year. What he would do is he would grow it. We would shave it. We would put it on
We keep it in bags.
individual doll hairs. We worked with a team of makeup artists.
I'll tell you about two more. Okay, one I'd made before that is called Shame of the Monkey with Matthew Masseau. It's a silent film. It's a pseudo art film involving bananas turning into gorilla and sacred love.
Between
The
bananas. and
between a monkey man and an observer. The other film is called Drinking Challenge. It's about two hobos drinking booze for a crown.
Hobos.
And the challenge is like they top each other by throwing up increasingly disgusting things.
Okay.
I star in that one because it was a limited crew.
And everybody said no.
Well,
No, I doubt
Yeah.
people would say no. People would get on board for sure.
I will send you the links later. And
Amazing.
sorry.
No, that's
They're going in our show notes, everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So yeah, that's the kind of crap I make. I don't usually make words. Actually, yeah, there's no talking in any of them.
Really?
And yeah, they're all silent. I add all the sounds later. Shoot everything silently and just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like screwing around with sound on set if I don't have to. It slows things down. It makes me crazy, and I always feel like I can do it better later. Not with dialogue, but with every other sound.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. I want it to sound exactly like this at this exact second. So I just do sound later.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite? So I suppose if you were on a desert island
Sure.
and you could take 3 movies with you.
This is one of our questions for all of our guests.
This is
3 movies that you would watch over and over again.
number 1, Night of the Living Dead. I've watched that movie more than I think any movie.
Amazing. No
Ever
guest
watched.
has ever chosen Night of the Living Dead.
No.
Go on.
It's my favorite film. Miami Connection would be the next one. It is so much fun, and so much heart was put into making something that is objectively terrible, but spectacularly entertaining at the same time. Those 2 are the easy ones. The third one,
Sure. I have not seen Miami Connection. So
I haven't either. Is that Gene Hackman? No, that's the French Connection.
it's really hard to get. I had to pay someone in the States to buy it for me and then send it to me, and hopefully you just didn't take my money, because they would not ship it to Canada. I've got
Wait. Why wouldn't they ship it to Canada?
I guess they don't have the rights or something.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
But I also ordered us posters, so I got the poster plaque that's in my living room, and it's huge and it's fantastic.
Amazing.
Had to do that. I guess the third one would be the Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Cool. That's my favorite. One of my favorite horror, suspense, and effects movies. So yeah, that's that.
So I'll say that when Dan came down, first of all, when I was chatting with him last night, he wondered if this was an elaborate ploy to murder him. I said, well,
Rape.
we will.
Then murder.
That's the kicker. There we go.
It's murder then rape.
Oh,
More delicious that way.
I knew it.
The order is important.
It's more terrible for Dan.
No, it's not. It's more terrible
Shame
if
on
it's rape first and then murder.
Anyway,
He's ready to get going. Anyway. But anyways, he came downstairs and Adrian was working in Premiere, and Dan gave him some suggestions
Gave me a
that
lesson.
hopefully will help us out.
I did not know that. I totally been educated.
Just super quick. We're having weird problems with our exports for Art of Eight Limbs, and
So we're just trying different things.
trying different things.
Something is not talking to something nicely. So yeah, we're just trying different things, and it's just taking some time because it's a pain in the butt.
yeah.
Because it's like an hour of content, and it's just takes a long time.
Before we wrap up, I heard of a book on the Joe Rogan podcast, so I picked it up. The War of Art. So it's all about writing as a professional, getting through writer's block, all that kind of stuff. He recommended it. I'm gonna give it a read, and then I'll let you guys know what I think, and then I'll drop it off to you.
Yeah.
So one other thing we should do. Let's do some film trivia.
Ah, shit.
Seeing
Oh,
as
you-
Dan
Dan.
mentioned that he's watched a lot of movies and he's amazing at this, so
Now that I've hyped myself up, I can embarrass myself in front of your audience.
we haven't done movie trivia in a long time, so
It has been a long time.
I don't know. Here, we'll just do 2. There you go. There
Thank
you
you.
go, Dan.
What
I
letter
think
are we
we're
gonna
doing-
do?
I think, are we doing T? No.
Sure. Okay. T or S?
No, I think we're doing P.
P?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now
Right.
these are also dated, so it's like from a scene game that is like. I
Okay,
don't know.
okay, Danny, I hear you. We're gonna ask him in a minute.
Okay. Pierce Brosnan's contract to play James Bond stated that he may not wear this on other films. Come on.
May not wear this.
A tuxedo.
Ah!
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's got to be a tuxedo. Yeah, tuxedo.
1-0.
That was a contract. That's fucking weird.
Okay, here we go.
But I get it. All right. Yeah.
What? Ugh. Okay, here we go. What are the last names of the 7 main crew members from the original Star Trek series.
Okay, wait. Last names?
Last names.
Okay, does Spock have a last name? Okay.
It's Spock.
Chekhov, Uhura, McCoy, Kirk. Who am I forgetting?
2 more.
I need to see a picture. Sulu.
1 more.
Who's not present in the ship right now? Is it like some red shirt or something?
No, but I will say that
That was amazing.
with a name like McLeod.
Oh, Scotty. Sorry. Oh wait, Scotty. What the hell was Scotty's last name?
Scott.
Was it Scott?
Scotty Scott?
No, Montgomery Scott.
Okay, Scott. Okay.
We're going to give that one to you.
Well
I'm
done.
going to give you like a
Thank
half a point. That's fine.
That was amazing.
All right,
your
Dan,
turn.
you're up.
All right. So which one number?
P.
All right. For what film did Tom Hanks win his first Oscar?
Philadelphia.
That's right.
God,
That was quick.
you've never seen that movie.
Name the person who created Harry Potter.
J.K.
Rolling?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Mine were really easy.
Name the WWF champion who appeared in the film The Mummy Returns.
Oh, it's the guy who's huge right now, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That is correct.
Ah.
That's where that's like was the beginning. And it was so, I thought it was so strange. I haven't seen it, but I thought it was so strange because it was so reminiscent of Arnold Schwarzenegger's beginnings of Conan. I was like, it's like the same thing. They like gave him a sword, took off his shirt, made him a warrior, and away we go. So I just saw the parallels between those two guys, and they were both huge. So if you're really huge and muscly, you should totally do a movie with a sword where you're like a barbarian.
Yeah, all right, now get on that. I just got to get huge and muscly and get a
And a
sword. Then I'm all set. Oh my
Someone to
god.
make the movie.
It's going to be a long road.
You got blood on the ceiling. How did he... Jesus, man. That's
that
impressive.
was like the exit wounds.
Nice.
The knife coming out.
It was a murder circle.
Yeah, don't
Nice.
tell anybody.
Okay.
Yes,
But
top
we're in the
secret.
room where someone died and shifted.
This would be...
There's still blood on the everywhere.
It's quite impressive. Oh, right. Last one. This is an easy one. What movie's subtitle is How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
Stanley Kubrick. What's it called? How I Learned to Stop Worrying. Shoot. Doctor Strangelove.
That's right.
I mean, I think in this round, Adrian is the wiener.
I think so.
Congratulations. Okay, I did get one question from the peanut gallery. Talk to Dan about his spook show ideas.
Oh, the Spook Show. Right. I forgot about that. So we might be doing this in October, or we might put it off for another time. I'm going to do a classic spook show probably at the original. So we'll start off, we'll have like a freak show or a magician at the beginning.
At the original.
The princess. And so that'll be fun. I hope we can get a freak show. I got a lead out on that, looking into it. And then basically an interactive movie. So we'll probably show something like The Tingler with Vincent Price. One of those movies where they actually yell at the audience, or you rig up chairs to vibrate, and you have actors freak out in the middle of the movie, stuff like shit flying across the theater.
Shit flying across the theater.
Yeah.
Almost like you almost theatrical and like a
Yeah. But super, super campy and fun and lighthearted.
That's cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
The original princess, safe?
Yes. I'm not sure
So
if...
in Kitchener Waterloo, there's a Princess Cinema downtown Waterloo, and then same owner or different
Same
owners?
owner.
Same owner opened the Princess Twin, like right on the main drag, that has a double theater, and this year there was a little bit of
Yes, what happened?
turmoil?
The lease owner, so people at the Who there, came up and were like, "Okay, you're gone in a month. You have no room to negotiate. We're giving the place to a VR company to do VR stuff. Bye."
Oh my god, I love VR.
and so it came out of nowhere because they've been like over 30 years of business with that lease owner, and then that got out to the public, and public was fucking outraged. And basically ripped her and her business to shit, like online. Big public outcry. And then she buckled. I was like, okay, we were actually just kidding. There is no VR place.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
it's
they had.
interesting
I didn't
because
realize they had buckled.
I have only
my
seen one
goodness.
thing at the original Princess, so I feel like a hypocrite. Because I just have never been to the original Princess.
Yeah.
I've been one time.
I've been once since I've been here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't really realize that they showed things on a regular basis.
They do. It's their more experimental, more art house kind of stuff. That's where they can take risks. That's what they've been doing since they opened. They took it over. It was abandoned for years, and before that, it was a porno theater. So hopefully they replaced the covers on the seats. But
Have they replaced?
who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so then John took
sure
it
they
up
have.
and made it what it is.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So where can people follow you? Where can people see what you're doing? Where can people get in touch?
Probably through the Force Fury page or the Kitchener Waterloo Film Festival page, both on Facebook. I have a website for KWFF, which it's awful and I don't put any effort into it. So Facebook is definitely the way to go.
Copy that.
Speaking of awful websites, I don't know if you guys have seen the Fable Forest Films website, but it is completely borked. Remember we talked about making a change? We did that. We're on our way to something better. But right now,
It's garbage.
it's caca. So I think it's completely broken. All right. Well, thanks very much, Dan.
Hey,
Thank you
coming
for coming out.
and
Thanks
meeting
for
us
having me, guys.
and being on the show.
That was
And
great.
thanks everyone. We will. I don't know. I enjoy doing the Facebook Live version. And then our Facebook followers get it, and then we release it to iTunes later on.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you. We're going to see how this goes, but there is a very good chance we're actually doing another Facebook Live on this Thursday, so 2 days from now, with a really cool guest, and we're gonna hold off until Thursday to release the name of said guest, but it's a person who probably most people will have heard of.
Ooh, mystery show.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool.
So pretty exciting. And we'll release names and times and things like that as soon as we can. So,
Right.
everyone,
Dream big.
work hard.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching.
First frames first.
Yes. First frames first. Thank you, Jason.
Welcome.
If you enjoyed, head over to our website, www.thefableforest.com. Check out our films and sign up for our newsletter where we will send you exclusive content.
Hit us up on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, always at The Fable Forest. And share our show with your friends. It'll really help us out a lot.
Dream big.
Work hard.